Today I was reading an article in Money Magazine. By the way, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer with Best of Us in Retirement. I'm a retired financial advisor, CFP, CHFC, CLU, and I want to share my experience, my knowledge in retirement and help you make better decisions and help you make your retirement the best half of your life as it is for me. But anyway, in this article in Money Magazine, it was saying that the average retiree will spend $300,000 in their retirement on medical care and medical care costs. And I thought, boy, that seems expensive. And as I dug into it, I realized they were only talking about half of it. The real number is somewhere around $586,000. And so I thought, I think people need to understand that better and I guess become aware of how important it is to stay healthy in retirement and to keep your weight down and to get exercise to keep you on the low side of this. So what I did was I said, okay, well, I'm going to break that down and put it on a PowerPoint slide and share it with my audience because I think it needs to be understood. And once I understood it, I actually felt better about it. So here's what I found. The $300,000 in medical care costs consist or is gauged on a study done by Fidelity on an 87-year-old man with a spouse of an 89-year-old woman. In other words, they live an average of 23 years from their retirement age of 65 and when they come on Medicare. So they said that 40% of that $300,000 would be in your Part B premium. Okay, I've pretty much absorbed that. So that's $120,000. And then 40% would be in your out-of-pocket copay. And I'm assuming that's for doctor visits or any procedures that you have to have made. Nita and I haven't really got into that all that much. I do have a copay, but that's usually about $30. A visit to the doctor and such. And then it said 20% for out-of-pocket drug cost of $60,000 a year. That probably is pretty accurate as I look at what we pay pretty much for Nita's medical expenses. So I thought, wow, that I guess that's pretty accurate, and we need to absorb that. And then I read on in the article, and it said, but that excludes the following. And the following was dental care, which they give a price of $900 per year. We both have pretty good teeth. We've had most of the crowns and stuff put in our mouth. And I'm pretty well, I guess, a bit of a pincher on this sort of thing. We do get our teeth cleaned at least once a year, and I was informed that my Medicare would cover up to $1,000 worth of expenses at the dental office. And so Nita took that over to our dentist and said, here, you need to reimburse us for our recent cleaning. And they basically said, no, we don't honor that. So I'm at a point where I got to make a decision. Do I need to find another dentist who is going to take my $1,000 per year of dental expense? And so I would encourage you to explore the same thing. I guess this is one of those out-of-network expenses, and this is the first time I've run into it. And $1,000 a year for both of us, and as long as we don't have any crowns or anything like that, we probably won't get anywhere near that. But I do and have experienced with both my father and my father-in-law, as you get up in your 80s, your teeth start to deteriorate and the expenses can get very high as you have implants and dentures and things of that nature. So I suspect that is accurate. Then long-term care, nursing home care, as we might call it, I learned that with some research that 59% of us will spend 835 days in some form of nursing home or care, and it will cost us on a national average of $293 a day, which will amount to $244,933. Okay, that doesn't surprise me. Again, as a financial advisor, I learned a lot about long-term care insurance, and as a result of what I learned, Nita and I bought a policy when we turned 50. That was the first year that we've qualified for it, and so we've been paying on it for some 27 years. In my case, 26 for Nita. So that will be covered and it will not be out of pocket. And what I do know from my experience is that a lot of people end up in retirement, going into a nursing home and depleting their assets. In essence, they go on Medicaid, and Medicaid then takes and puts a lien on your home and drains your assets, so that after you pass away, the nursing or Medicaid gets paid back the bill. The other thing that I've seen people do is create a living trust, which is a way of moving all the assets out of your name and putting them in a trust, which, if it's been established long enough before you go into a nursing home, you can pull a dirty trick on Medicaid and end up having Medicaid pay your nursing home bill. It's something I don't really subscribe to, because in essence what I'm doing is pushing my cost of a nursing home off onto you, the taxpayer, and I don't think that's fair. So I need to do the planning. It's just basically the same as I see it, like any other insurance, whether it's your homeowner's fire insurance. You need to insure yourself for that eventual expense. And as I said, 59% of us will go into a nursing home, and we will spend an average of 835 days. And this is one of those expenses that is very dependent upon where you live. The cost of nursing home care in California, New York, Illinois, some big metro areas is astronomical. So it's something that if you have not looked into it, you should. The other thing that I would advise you is that they have now some nursing home and long-term care life insurance policies that are tied together, such that you can buy $244,000 of life insurance, and if you don't use it for that but use it for a nursing home care, it's a way to cover it. They didn't have that when I bought mine, but that is something that, if this is of concern of you and you're still in your 50s, I would strongly recommend that you look into it. So with the $300,000 plus the excluded, we come up with a total of $586,333. But what I think the message I want to deliver, particularly if you're not yet retired, look into this, study this, understand it, understand what is going to happen and what the costs are. Now, again, as I say, of the 300, the Part B, you're already set up for that in your Medicare. But those two out-of-pockets, they can get you. And then the big one is the nursing home care. Okay, so I saw that and I thought that is interesting. It's educational, it's informative. It gave me some peace of mind as I went through and the numbers and realized our exposure. And so I'm feeling okay with it. I hope you are too. And I think it's important that you do feel okay with it and understand it so that this can be one of the best parts of your life, the second half. I also am going to cover, there is a new legislation that I believe just passed, which is saying we can't get any surprise bills. And what I recognize those as being as services that you have to have for medical care that you don't have any protection from, such as if you get in an automobile accident out in the boonies and they got to pick you up by a helicopter and fly you in, or you're in a foreign country and you've got to be privately jetted back to the United States. These are surprise bills, and they really cripple some people, but there is some legislation coming in that vein, and I've read about it, but I need to understand it further, and I'll cover that in another video. So I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm from Best of Us Retirement, and I'm hoping to make your retirement the best half of your life. I'll talk to you again soon.